Between February and June 2018, I followed the Catch to 5K programme that aims to get you from nothing to running for 30 minutes 3 times a week. Now, I made 30 minutes, but I didn't make 5K. So on the first anniversary of those videos in 2019, I've got myself a new challenge to vlog my way to 5K. Hello! Here I am for one of my pre-run warm-up intros. Today I will mostly be wearing grey. Now today is a monumental step as I attempt to move beyond the 30 minutes that the Couch to 5K encourages you to do, because today my goal is 31 minutes. Now I was looking back through the history of my runs, and I used to use an app called Nike Run Club, and it had on there, on some of the data, it had on there like 36 minutes and 32 minutes. I thought, this isn't right. There's no way in a million years that I ran for 36 minutes. So I had a look, and it appears to have included the warm-ups and the warm-downs in the time. So I think it's pretty safe to say that I won't be looking at that to try and work out where I got to. To be honest with you, I pretty much know I did 30 minutes. And Couch to 5K doesn't try and actually get you to 5K, it tries to get you to 30 minutes. And if you can do 5K as well in that 30 minutes, then that's like the icing on the cakes that you're probably not eating anymore. But I never made 5K, and it's difficult to tell from looking at Nike Run Club really how far I got. But I think it's safe to say 30 minutes was it. Anyway, that's enough waffling. Let's get on the run, and I'll see you on the other side. 31 minutes, fingers crossed. Whew. So that's it. 31 minutes achieved. In fact, I did a bit more than the 31 because I was trying to look whether after about 8 minutes, I thought, well, I must have done the first kilometre by now. But like, normally my watch pings when I get to the end of each kilometre, and I hadn't heard it ping. And so anyway, I looked at the watch and it said 8 minutes, and I thought, surely I can't be going that slowly. But I had taken a different route today, which I'll talk about more in a moment. And so I was trying to look to see what time was, and I managed to pause the run. So I've done 31 minutes and whatever it is, a couple of seconds, but it's actually probably about 15-20 seconds after 30, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that I did 31, and as far as I know, that's the longest run I've ever done, because as I was saying before I started, I really can't remember. I had a feeling that I'd done 32 minutes, but I may have dreamt that. It might be wishful thinking, but the fact is, anyway, I achieved today's goal, which is the most important thing. Yeah, so different route. Where I live, there was a path down to the shorefront, like a sort of zigzaggy path, like you get a lot of coastlines. And about 3 years ago, it's like falling apart, so they closed it. And the only way down to the beach is by some big steps, 117 of them. I don't tend to use that on a run, but I do go a longer route in order to get to the seafront. But today I thought, I'll use the new zigzag path. It's been open a few days now. So I went down there, and of course running down there, that's fine. Then I went all the way along. I didn't really know how far I was going to get. I'd never used it on a run before because it's been closed since I started. So I got to about 16 minutes and thought, well, I'll turn around and go back. But that meant when I got to about 25 minutes, I was running up the zigzag. So yeah, that got the heart racing as I got near the top, and I thought I could do without this towards the end of a run. But yeah, so there we go. I don't know quite whether I'll use this route. I probably will use this route. It's nice to have a different route that I can go on. But anyway, 31 minutes, all done. And now it's time to move into the unbelievable distances and times of 32 minutes for the next one. Oh, distance, I didn't say the distance of the split times. I did, I can't remember what it was now. I looked, I think it was 4.58 K. I'm not sure. I might have to correct myself on that one at the start of the next run. But the split times were about 7 minutes. 6:53 for the first kilometre, and then 7 minutes, just over 7 minutes after that. So I'm pretty sure now at this pace that it is going to be not this week, not next week. Maybe next week, more likely the week after that I'll finally get to the 5k. But we'll see. Everything's up there. So it's enough waffling. I'll see you for run 2 of week 5, when I'll be trying to get to 32 minutes. See you for that. Hello, it is week 5, run 2 of my Catch the 5k revival. And a quick reminder, this is not Catch the 5k. I've done that. So if you're watching these videos for the first time, I've got a whole series of other videos that actually cover Catch the 5k and take me through that program as I did it. So check that out if you haven't seen them already. Now, but this is my week 5 of my own challenge to add a minute a run. So today, my longest run, I think ever, is going to be 32 minutes if I make it. Now, I'm actually doing something slightly different today, which is I'm going out in the evening because the days are getting longer, and what with my schedule over the last week, it just seems a bit easier to go out. Oh, I'm losing my earphone. To go out in the evening. Because I'm self-employed, I work for myself, which is what self-employed means. I tend to go out during the day, maybe sort of late afternoon, maybe sort of like 4 o'clock, something like that. And I can do that sort of midweek by sort of juggling my schedule around if it works. This week it hasn't, so I thought, well, why not go out in the evening? It's not late evening, it's about getting on to 6:45, I suppose. So yeah, anyway, that should be all right. The other thing that I'm going to do differently, I think, today is I recently saw the film Bohemian Rhapsody, and so I've had Queen songs going through my nut on a loop for the last few days. So when that happens, what do when you get an earworm? I think you just accept it, you just go with it. So I've downloaded the soundtrack from the film from my favourite streaming service, and instead of listening to a podcast, despite everything that I said in my last week's video, I am thinking I might listen to a bit of Queen today. Yeah, why not? So anyway, it's enough talk. I am getting a bit out of breath here actually, so I need to carry on properly with my warm-up, and I will see you, hopefully, after 32 minutes. See you on the other side. Right. I always say right, don't I? I've noticed that when I've been editing. I go right. I don't know, it's a habit. Anyway, 32 minutes. I have managed it. I have to say, that was hard going actually. Yeah, more about that in a moment. So, I did listen to Queen, and yeah, it was quite, made a nice change actually to listen to a bit of music. And I'm not sure, there was some old biddies in a beach hut. I'm not sure what they thought as I ran past and at the top of my voice yelled out, "I'm a sex machine, ready to reload." I swear when I shouted out like an atom bomb, the old biddy nearly spilt her pims. So that was nice. Yeah, so what was I going to say? Yes, I found it hard going. And maybe it's the time of day, I'm not used to going out in the evening. No, probably not, that's rubbish, isn't it? But I did have, you don't want to hear about my aches and pains. A few years ago I had sciatica, and it's quite a long story actually, which I won't bore you with. But part of my routine for getting back to normal was to go out for a walk every day, which I do. Take the dogs for a walk. I use a sit-stand desk because I work for myself from home, and I use a desk that can rise up and down, which is quite good. And I actually spend most of my time standing up. It's quite good, those sit-stand desks. But my little toe, my left foot, is, as well as probably smelling, as most feet do, particularly now after a run, it's a bit numb actually down that sort of side of my foot, which is something that I guess will never recover because it's years ago now that I had sciatica. But I can feel the sciatic nerve going down on the left hand side there. I'm not medically trained, can you tell? And it was sort of not pulling, that's the wrong word, but it was a little bit kind of grumbling, shall we say. So I've got to be a bit careful, and I'm gonna, as I always do after a run, go home and do a bit of stretching. And but I made it to the end, which is the important thing. 32 minutes, and I haven't looked at the split times, but the total distance was 4.6k in the 32 minutes, so I have increased my time again, I think. But I'm not overly worrying about that. It's I want to get to 5k. I know I'm not there yet, and it's probably going to be week 7, I'm guessing. But I don't think I'll do it next week, but we'll see. Speaking of which, that's it for week 5. Thank you very much for sticking with it. If you stuck with me to the end, thank you. And thank you also to everybody who sends comments. I get loads of comments, which is really quite gratifying actually, because let's face it, it's just me waffling into a camera incoherently. So yeah, I'm surprised anybody's watching, to be honest. But thank you very much for those who watch. And if you comment, thank you very much for that as well. I reply to everyone. But please make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. There's a link coming up in a moment. If you're interested in tech, then I do very rambly tech videos. They're on the channel as well. But that's it for now. Hopefully the aim for next week, get to 34 minutes. And then after that, who knows, maybe I'll get to 5k finally. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.